I mean, you've seen Indiana and Maryland.
I've seen Nebraska. I've seen
all the top teams in the league. I mean, are they capable? I mean, do you see them consistent? They can't consistently play at that level, but do you think they can play at that level enough to get those signature wins to get in?
Right now I don't see them as a team, especially with their non-conference. I think they'd have to do so much in league to be an NCAA tournament game. I mean, I just think they'd have to be almost flawless, even with Harrisonburg, to make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and that was really cool.
I'm not saying that it's not possible,
right,
but it's going to be extremely difficult and maybe a little unrealistic. With Walton still being a little injured, with a lack of a person that puts pressure on the paint. I think to me that's the biggest thing. I mean, who do they have that's going to put pressure on the paint? Like, Glenn Robinson could get to the glass. He could beat you off the bounce. He could attack in transition. Trey Burke could beat you on the bounce, compress the defense. Paint touches it's not just throwing the ball to the post player. Even with Karras, I'm not sure they had enough an opportunity to put pressure on the paint to beat the best teams in the league that you're going to need to beat to make the tournament. Now, home court's a big thing. And like I said, I think tomorrow will tell a lot. Won't be the answer, but it'll tell a lot. Wisconsin's playing at a very high level. Even with Trayvon Jackson being out, I mean, they're playing at a very high level. Decker's been more aggressive. Bronson Koenig has done a lot of good things. He doesn't get downhill and get in the lane off the dribble as well as Jackson at the end of short clocks, but he can shoot it and he defends. To beat Wisconsin, you can't put them on a foul line. You can't turn it over because they're not. They're going to get to the line most nights. They're not going to put you on the line. They don't foul, and they don't turn it over. There's no one in the country and fierce turnovers. So those are the two things you're going to have to do to have a chance to beat them.
Jay talked about how helpful it is for Wisconsin to have such an experienced roster. I mean, they've got that depth.
Well, Bill says it's got to be true.
I'm talking even
He is the Bills trainer. I don't know who Jay Will is, but no, I'm sorry.
But even thinking about that knowing that they have that depth, though, I mean, do you think that depth is important for like this? That's going to be a game changer for them this season. That knowing they've been
Wisconsin,
punched, for Wisconsin, they've been punched before, and then they can come on the road here in a game day environment and handle that just fine.
I think depth, experience, and talent, kind of you combine those together, and it's a pretty good measure. I mean, they've got excellent depth, and the guys that come in.
Yeah, they are.
Impact the game. Douye Duke comes in, he impacts the game. So they got guys coming in that impact the game. But I think it's experience. They're back to their culture of guarding. I didn't think last year that was the best I've seen Bo's team offensively in terms of scoring a little earlier, but probably the least attention to detail defensively, especially in transition guarding the ball. I think they've improved defensively. They're guarding better. They're guarding the ball better, although not great, and I think Duke exposed that a little bit. And offensively, they're even better than they were last year because they got a lot of shot makers. Their pace of play, they're a little bit like Virginia. Their pace of play might not be as fast in the half court, but they're efficient in the half court. And when you have a guy like Kaminsky puts so much pressure on the defense because of his versatility. I mean, I did this there in Nebraska game. He blocked a shot, he led the break. When the ball's penetrated, he can play behind penetration. You put him in the ball screen, he can pop, he can roll. If people down the ball screen and push it to the baseline, he replaces. Now you got to guard him there. So his versatility is really difficult to deal with. And Nigel Hayes' improvement is phenomenal. I mean, maybe the most improved player in the country.
When you got like a Wisconsin swing offense and you got sort of a
young... it's not. There's a lot more to Wisconsin than Benny Goodman.
Sure, but
it's the king of swing.
But still a very complex.
Probably the only person that knows that Benny Goodman was the king of swing.
Still a very complex offense and a team that's sort of still finding now having to plug in and find itself on defense. How much of a nightmare matchup could that be for Michigan?
Preparing for Wisconsin on the defensive end is a nightmare. Not as much just what they do, but who they do it with, because of the versatility of all their players. they can invert their offense. Their positions are interchangeable. They can put any number of different players in
I think
different
it's gonna be
actions,
a very good program.
which puts a lot of pressure on your defense because sometimes say, well, he's a low post player, or he's a spot up shooter, or he's a driver. All 5 players on the court, all right, have if you say who are they? They have a number of things who they are, a number of different ways they can put pressure on the defense. So they become a very difficult team to prepare for.